for joining consistently every single time. Hare Krishna. Is there anybody else who would like to introduce themselves?
Hare
Krishna Mataji, this is Shubha from Chennai.
Hare Krishna Shubha Mataji, Dandavat Pranam. All glories to Srila Prabhupada, all glories to Shri Guru Maharaj, all glories to Shri Guru and Shri Gauranga. Thank you very much, Mataji, for joining all the way to India. Hare Krishna. So, dear devotees, welcome to Bhakti Sangha Japa Group. Today, before we start our session, I would like to read Srila Prabhupada's quote for today, September 25th. Yeah. How one can attain that platform of purity? Krishna says that one who is engaged in devotional service to me without any deviation, that means 24 hours in Krishna consciousness, he is pure. He is pure. If you can keep yourself always, constantly in Krishna consciousness, always thinking of Krishna, then you are pure. Srila Prabhupada ki Jai, Seattle, September 25. So today we are so fortunate to have Her Grace Kirtida Sundari Devi Dasi Mataji on the topic of Sri Caitanya Bhagavata Antya khanda, chapter 3, verse number 18 onwards. And thank you very much, Mataji. Before we start, first again, I want to give you the very, very Krishna conscious birthday to you, Mataji.
It's long back, Mataji.
Oh, then sorry, Mataji.
No
Dandavat
problem.
pranam.
Dandavat
All,
pranam.
all glories to Srila Prabhupada, all glories to Sri Guru Maharaj. Thank you very much, Mataji, for giving your very valuable time and association to us this morning and enlightening us on this topic of Sri Chaitanya Bhagavat. Now I hand over call to you, Mataji. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna. Thank you so much, Mataji. Thank you for your blessings. Thank you for your wishes. Thank you for all your services. So we'll get started. Thank you, dear devotees, for joining us. So we'll get started with our Mangalatara prayers. ॐ अज्ञानतिमिरन्धस्य ज्ञानाञ्जनशलाकया चक्षुरुन्मीलितं येन तस्मै श्रीगुरुवे नमः। श्रीचैतन्यमनोभीष्टं स्थापितं येन भूतले स्वयं रूप कदा मह्यं ददाति स्वपदान्तिकं। वन्देऽहं श्रीगुरु श्रीयुतापदकमलं श्रीगुरुं वैष्णवांश्च श्रीरूपं साग्रजातां सहगना रघुनाथान्वितं तं सजीवं साद्वैतं सावधूतं परिजनसहितं कृष्णचैतन्यदेवं श्रीराधा कृष्णपदां सहगना ललिता श्रीविशाखान्वितांश्च हे कृष्णा करुणा सिन्धु दीनबन्धु जगत्पते गोपेश गोपिका कान्त राधा कान्त नमस्तुते तप्त कांचन गौरांगी शिराधे वृंदावनेश्वरी वृषभानुसुते देवी प्रणमामि हरिप्रिये पंचतत्वात्मकं कृष्णं भक्तरूपस्वरूपकं भक्तावतारं भक्ताख्यं नमामि भक्तशक्तिकं नमो विष्णुपदाय कृष्णप्रस्थाय भूतले श्रीमते भक्तिवेदांत स्वामिनिति नामिने नमस्ते सारस्वते देवे गौरवाणी प्रचारिणे निर्विशेष शून्यवादी पाश्चात्य देशतारिणे वाञ्छाकल्पतरुभ्यश्च कृपा सिन्धुभ्येव च पतितानां पावनेभ्यो वैष्णवेभ्यो नमो नमः। जय श्री कृष्ण चैतन्य प्रभु नित्यानंद, श्री अद्वैत गदाधर श्रीवास आदि गौर भक्त वृंदा। हरे कृष्णा कृष्ण कृष्ण हरे हरे, हरे राम 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 हरे हरे। गुरुवे गौरचंद्राय राधिकाय तदालय, कृष्णाय कृष्ण भक्ताय तत्भक्ताय नमो नमः। आनंद लीलामय विग्रहाय हेमाभदिव्य छवि सुंदराय, तस्मै महाप्रेम रसप्रदाय चैतन्य चंद्राय नमो नमस्ते। चैतन्य चंद्राय नमो नमस्ते, चैतन्य चंद्राय नमो नमस्ते। आजानुलम्बितभुजौ कनकावधातौ, सङ्कीर्तनैकपितरौ कमलायताक्षौ, विश्वम्भरौ द्विजवरौ युगधर्मपालौ, वन्दे जगत्प्रियकरौ करुणावतारौ। जयति जयति देवा कृष्णचैतन्यचन्द्रो, जयति जयति कीर्तिस्तस्य नित्यः पवित्र। जयति जयति भृत्यास्तस्य विश्वेश्वमूर्तेर्, जयति जयति नृत्यां तस्य सर्वप्रियाणाम्। मुखं करोति वाचालं पङ्गुं लङ्घयते गिरिं, यत्कृपहातं हं वन्दे श्रीगुरुदीनतारिणं, परमानन्दमाधवं श्रीकृष्णचैतन्येश्वरम्। Hare Krishna, dear devotees. Thank you so much for your wonderful association. I bow down to each and every one of you to please bless me so that I can speak something relevant to this subject matter. Vancha kalpatarubhyascha kripa sindhu vaivacha patitanam pavanebhyo vaishnavebhyo namo namaha. Anant Koti Vaishnavrinda ki jai, Shri Prabhupada ki jai, all the assembled Vaishnavas ki jai. So we are in the Antya khanda, chapter 3 of Caitanya Bhagavata. And we saw that how Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu finally came to Jagannath Puri. And when he came to Jagannath Puri, he came in contact with Sarvabhauma Bhattacharya. So Mahaprabhu was very kind enough. So let me share my screen. These are some very beautiful verses that were covered yesterday. But to build up the context, we will see those verses as well. So this is our dear Mahaprabhu, who said, once Mahaprabhu, by the arrangement of providence, sat down in a solitary place with Sarvabhauma Bhattacharya. Now we all know that Sarvabhauma Bhattacharya was a Mayavadi, right? And Mahaprabhu has already taken sannyas. He is on his tour and he came to Nilachal Dham. When Mahaprabhu met Sarvabhauma Bhattacharya, he said, the Lord said, listen, Sarvabhauma, let me reveal my heart to you. Although I came to see Jagannath in Nilachal, but my main purpose here was to meet you. So Mahaprabhu gave this hint to Sarvabhauma Bhattacharya that I am here to liberate you. तुम्हारा उद्धार करने के लिए मैं आया हूँ. Because we know that Sarvabhauma Bhattacharya was in Dharma, Artha, Kama and Moksha. So, but Mahaprabhu didn't speak directly to him. This is also one of the very kind and polite way that Mahaprabhu used. And he said that, no, I don't want to directly say Sarvabhauma to Sarvabhauma Bhattacharya that you have to control yourself. You have to understand the Prema Pumartho Mahan, the Panchama Purushartha. But he said, oh, I want to learn something from you. I came here personally to meet you because I want to learn something from you. This is the way Mahaprabhu talked to Sarvabhauma Bhattacharya. And he said, will Jagannath ever speak to me? Yes, I came to Nilachal, but I know this Jagannath is not going to speak to me. So the main purpose of coming to Nilachal Dham is to meet you. Because when we go to pilgrimage, the main thing is not to go to temple. Of course, that is one of the reasons, but the main reason is to meet sadhus, to understand the purport of bhakti or the process of bhakti yoga from the lotus mouth of sadhus, to meet some saintly persons and not only meet them but to serve them. And Mahaprabhu also said the same thing. See, I came to Nilachal and I know this Jagannath is not going to speak to me. So my purpose is not only just to meet Jagannath, just to see Jagannath, but my main purpose is to meet you, because it is you who is going to completely destroy my material bondage. You are my friend. So he said, you are fully empowered by Lord Krishna. You are an empowered soul. So you are able to award one loving devotional service to Krishna. Again, Saraswati Thakur, Srila Prabhupada Saraswati Thakur actually revealed to all of us that the main reason for Mahaprabhu to come is that he wants to remove the deceitful desire that Sarvabhauma Bhattacharya has in his mind, the four objectives of life, that is dharma, artha, kama, moksha. So Mahaprabhu continued and said, therefore I take shelter of you. Now you do whatever you consider is beneficial for me. And he then asked Sarvabhauma Bhattacharya, please tell me, what rules and regulations should I follow? How should I live my life? Please instruct me so that I don't fall into this well of material life. I want to come out. I want to remove. I want to get rid of this samsara chakra. Now Mahaprabhu is saying this, who is already beyond all this samsara chakra. But he said, I don't want to fall into this material life. So you please instruct me, how should I live my life? Please instruct me without any reservation, without any hesitation. You just tell what I have to do. I know for certain that I am a soul surrendered unto you. Ami se tumhara ijana sarvathaya. I am the soul surrendered unto you. So please note for certain that whatever you instruct me, I'll try to follow. In this way, Gaura Hari used various means to delude Sarvabhauma while speaking to him. So actually, Mahaprabhu, like in Hindi, we say, किसी को चने के झाड़ पे चढ़ाना, means praising somebody. But the main point, when Krishna praises somebody, that means Krishna wants to teach that person some lessons. And that's what our Mahaprabhu did. He wants to teach, he wants to tell Sarvabhauma that come out of this four religious principles that you have been following and come to the level of prema pumartha mahan. So we'll continue with text 18 and we'll see what audacity Sarvabhauma Bhattacharya had that he started speaking to Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. So now his ego is already fanned. Mahaprabhu has fanned his ego. So now with his egoistic, arrogant consciousness, he will be speaking to Mahaprabhu. Na janiya sarvabhauma ishvara marma kahite lagila ei jive rayata dharma. Without realizing Lord's intention, that why unnecessary Lord is praising me, Sarvabhauma didn't realize it. He was completely deluded by hearing the praise. He began to speak about the religious duties of living entities. Now, what lesson we get to learn from this? Sometimes people praise us for all the activities that they see in us, like some may sing a very nice kirtan, some may give very nice classes, some may do very nice deity dressing, some may be very good in cooking. Devotees, their part is to praise, and they praise us. But the person who is being praised has to learn how to take that praise. Okay, it's not the fault of the devotees who are praising, because devotees will always praise. Even little you do, they will give you, they will praise you like anything. But those who are being praised should learn how to take those praises. If those praises are not taken in the right Krishna conscious way, then they literally those praises, those glorification goes to one's head. And then what happens? Illusion, delusion, madness, and thinking oneself to be the supreme. this happens. And this is the right example that we see in this case, that how Sarvabhauma Bhattacharya, the praises that Gaurahari did, he took those praises to his mind, to his heart, and he was completely deluded. And he didn't realize what is the intention of the Lord. And thus he began to speak about the religious duties of living entities. So in this case, we also should learn that when we are being praised, first of all, we should learn how to take those praises. We should immediately delegate it to our spiritual master, our spiritual seniors. Because if we go dive deep into our life and see, then nothing belongs to us. Whatever we are able to do in this Krishna conscious life is because of the mercy of the spiritual master. Whatever services, no matter what, but whatever services we are able to do is because of the mercy of Srila Prabhupada and our Guru Vargas. So the first duty of a person who is being praised is that immediately we should offer it back to our spiritual masters and our spiritual seniors. Second thing, when we are being praised, we should learn that, we get to learn that whether it's all artificial or the person who is really praising is praising through one's heart. Because sometimes praises are given, and in that, we take it to our heart, we take it to our mind, and we started thinking ourselves to be the authority. And we start guiding them. We start owning them. Okay, somebody praised us, somebody said, oh, Mataji, Prabhuji, you are my like Shiksha Guru, and I want to literally surrender unto you. And that person start thinking, oh, wow, I am being accepted as a Shiksha Guru. This person is my Shiksha disciple. So I have the full audacity to dictate that person, to command that person, to tell that devotee how to behave, how to act. And then what happens? We start owning them. We started thinking, oh, they are mine. I am their Shiksha Guru. They are my Shiksha disciples. So in forward, in their future life, whatever step they would be taking, they should be taking my guidance. They should be taking my permission. This kind of ability we develop. So not to get such kind of ability, we get to learn this from this episode, that we should try to, first of all, delegate everything. And then secondly, we should not start owning people thinking that, oh, now I have the audacity to correct someone. Okay. So Sarvabhauma Bhattacharya, he began to speak about the religious duties of the living entities. What can he speak? He himself is on Dharma, Artha, Kama, Moksha, and he's talking to Supreme Personality of Godhead, who have understood the prema in and out. And he will be speaking about the religious duties. Sarvabhauma balena kahila yata tumi, sakala tomhara bhala vashilama ami. Sarvabhauma said, Kahila yata tumi, whatever you are saying, whatever the way you appreciated me, the way you glorified me, actually I appreciate, means I accept whatever you have said. And for your sakala tomara bhala, tumhari bhalai ke liye, for your benefit, for your welfare, I want to say something. Vashilami, I want to speak something to you. But mind it, I'm going to speak it for your benefit, for your welfare. And I know whatever you have glorified me, praised me, and you have been surrendered unto me, I really appreciate that. ये तुम्हारा हाई आछे भक्तिरा उदय अत्यंत अपूर्व से खैला का भुनाय. He says, Ye tomara haiche bhakti uday. I'm seeing that there is that bhakti has arisen in your heart. The bhakti lata, the beach of bhakti has been sprouted. The devotion has been awakened in your heart. Atyanta purva se kahila kabunai, and which is very, very wonderful. It's atyanta purva. It is very good that has happened in your life, and it is beyond description. Kahila kabunai, I cannot speak about it. The devotion that has awakened in your case, in your life, is certainly commendable. It's very, very wonderful. कृष्ण कृपा हाय अच्छा तुम्हारा ऊपरे सब एका करी अच्छे नहीं व्यवहारे. And then he said that seeing that bhakti, that seed of bhakti, that bhakti being sprouted in your heart, actually it's because of Krishna Kripa. I'm seeing that Krishna Kripa, that you have attained Krishna Kripa. Krishna Kripa hai che tumhare upar. Krishna ki kripa hai tum sab tumhare upar. So Sarvabhauma Bhattacharya is telling this to Shri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, that you have really attained Krishna's mercy. But one thing is there, Sabha eke karya cha nahi vyavara. But there is one thing that you have done in your life which should not be done as per the rules and regulations. Now Mahaprabhu is shocked. Okay, what I have done which was not supposed to be done? Because he himself is the path leader. Okay, he is the one who shows the path to others. So if the leader is wrong, then naturally the followers will be wrong. So Mahaprabhu is beyond all this mistakes and blunders. He's beyond all this. Whatever he does, common men follow. So he says, Sabha eka karyacha. All your work are great. Your devotion is great because of Krishna's mercy. But one thing, Sabha eka karyacha nahi vyavara. But among all the activities that you have done, one activity should not have been done in your case, which is improper. What is that? Paramasubuddhi बुद्धि तुम्ही हाइया आपने तबे तुम्ही संन्यास करीला की कारण. So this is the one thing that Sarvabhauma Bhattacharya wants to highlight it. And he said, Paramasu Buddhi, you are very, very intelligent. You have been bestowed with very great intelligence. Paramasu Buddhi, tumhi, haiya apane. You have a great intelligence. You are most intelligent. तभी तुम्ही संन्यास करीला की कारण. Then why did you take sannyas? This was not the time for you to take sannyas. This is the one karya, this is the one activity which has been done by you and which is improper. It should not have been done. So why he said that? Our Prabhupada, Srila Prabhupada Saraswati Thakur reveals in his beautiful purport. We'll go line by line. So Prabhupada Saraswati Thakur in his purport writes, Sarvabhauma said, O Krishna Chaitanya, you have attained Krishna's mercy and you are most intelligent. You are Paramasubuddhi. Why did you take sannyas? Sannyasa karila ki karan. Kya karan tha? Why you have taken sannyas? And Prabhupada Saraswati Thakur says that he was not asking as a matter of question. He was actually telling Mahaprabhu what qualification you have to take sannyas. Means you were not authorized to take sannyas at such a young age. You are too young. You are too young to take sannyas. You should have not taken sannyas. Why you became a sannyasi? Then he is quoting about Madhavendra Puri, who is the Paramaguru of Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. Okay, he is comparing Mahaprabhu to his Paramaguru, Madhavendra Puri, because Mahaprabhu took Diksha. Actually, he took Diksha from Ishwara Puripad, and sannyas he took from a Mayavadi sannyasi, right? Keshava Bharati. But Ishwara Puripad is a disciple of Srila Madhavendra Puri. So now Sarvabhauma Bhattacharya is saying, what qualification you have to take sannyas? You don't have any qualification. You are very young. Personalities like Madhavendra Puri have taken sannyas, but they have done so after maturely enjoying material life. So it's not that prematurely they have renounced everything out of some sentiments and emotions. No, they have first of all seen the entire 3/4 of their life. And then they took sannyas, understanding. So the renunciation has to be with proper understanding. But you, Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, you have taken sannyas out of mere some sentiments and emotions. What was the need for you? You are in your prime youth. You have taken sannyas prematurely. You have renounced your life prematurely. And premature renunciation is always wrong renunciation. Premature renunciation should not be done. So he said, Madhavendra Puri, personalities like Srila Madhavendra Puri have taken sannyas, but they have done so after maturely enjoying their material life. Before accepting sannyas, you should have particularly considered that everyone respects a sannyasi as a member of the topmost ashram. So Sarvabhauma Bhattacharya is saying that, especially in those days, sannyasis were very, very honored. And we know from Caitanya Bhagavata that this was actually the reason for Mahaprabhu to take sannyas. Because once he was calling out Gopi, 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 and all the students, they were making fun of Mahaprabhu and they were criticizing him. That why he's calling out the name of Gopi, Gopi, Gopi? Why isn't he calling out the name of Krishna? And Mahaprabhu was thinking that in this way, if they keep on criticizing me, then it will be impossible for them to come out of this nescence of material existence. First of all, itself is being so difficult to come out of this material life. Secondly, if they start criticizing Krishna himself, then there is no hope for them. So Mahaprabhu, out of his compassion of being Patita Pavan, he thought, no, I have to do something so that their criticisms can be nullified. And in that pretext, Mahaprabhu said, okay, now I will take sannyas. I will accept this renounced order of life. Because sannyasis those days are respected a lot. Today, because of this age of Kali, and especially when this Kali Yuga is growing up, we see so many pseudo sannyasis coming up. But in those times, it was not like the same. Sannyasis were very well treated, they are very well respected. So Mahaprabhu thought, now I will take this renounced order of life, and being a sannyasi, I will go out and beg at their home. And at that time, they have to bow down to me. They will not criticize me. They will have to bow down to me. And once they bow down to me, I will get this chance to liberate them. Because I will benedict them, I will give them all blessings, and this will be a great opportunity for me so that they can come out of this material bondage. So this same thing, Sarvabhauma Bhattacharya is also saying that you should have particular considered that everyone respects a sannyasi as a member of the topmost ashram. But you are a Vaishnava. You have accepted Vaishnava principles. And that Vaishnava principles means that you have to become humbler than the blade of grass. You have to become Trinadapi Suni Chena Taror Api Sahisuna. Manina Manadena Kirtaniya Sadahari. You have to follow those rules. Then what is the need for you to become a candidate for receiving the highest respect found in the social etiquette? What was the reason for you that you have accepted sannyas? Why you have taken such path? Okay, if you want to say that I have taken the sannyas to deliver the world and give the world the devotional service, then you would have done it even in the Grahastha ashram. There was no point in leaving that Grahastha ashram. The personalities like Madhavendra Puri have given because they were ready to accept sannyas. You are not ready to accept sannyas. They have accepted sannyas when their 3/4 of their life has passed. But you have just entered in the prime of your life. So how can you be qualified to take sannyas? Do you want unnecessary praise or some achievement that people come and bow down to you? Do you want that? Or you want some highest respect? That's why you took sannyas? Then he says, giving up Shikha and Brahmana thread is an example of pride. Personalities like Madhavendra Puri have given up their Shikha and Brahman threads. But you are not supposed to do that. You should follow the etiquettes of a Vaishnava principle. It is simply the desire to ascend to the highest level of fame, being a sannyasi. That means you are after some name fame. That's why you took sannyas. Otherwise, if you have simply followed the Vaishnava principles, then you should offer obeisances to a dog eater, a cow, and an ass. And he should not accept respect from anyone. But now, in the prime youth, you have taken sannyas. That means you want some benefit. You want some highest respect for yourself. But that is not the case of people who are following Vaishnava principles. Then Prabhupada Saraswati Thakur writes that Mayavadi sannyasis in particular, they consider themselves equal to the Supreme Lord. So sannyasi doesn't mean that you start expecting some respect from others. That is not the real meaning of sannyasi. So because Sarvabhauma Bhattacharya was from the Mayavad sannyasis, he was telling, because he was the follower of Mayavad. So in those Mayavadis, the Mayavadi sannyasis, when they take sannyas, they consider themselves to be equal to that of the Supreme Lord. So this is their foolishness, Prabhupada Saraswati Thakur is saying. They become equal to the Supreme Lord, who is the creator, maintainer, and annihilator. Therefore, they are worthy sons, unworthy sons, and they are foolish. But Sarvabhauma Bhattacharya is not realizing this. And he is simply telling Mahaprabhu that you have taken sannyas because you want some adoration, some respect for yourselves. But don't try to compare yourself to Madhavendra Puri. Because Madhavendra Puri was actually on a level of Paramhamsa. He was on a Paramhamsa stage who was following this Ajgar Vritti. Ajgar Vritti is actually indicates that one who is compared as a python, as a ajgar, as a big snake, and he doesn't make any effort to acquire food. Whatever comes on its own accord, they accept it. So that means a Paramhamsa or person who is on the Paramhamsa stage, they simply engage exclusively in the service of the Lord without even taking care of their sleep, their eating, their waking up, no such things. They are only worried, they are only engaged in the exclusive service of the Lord. So he says that you are comparing yourselves like Madhavendra Puri. Madhavendra Puri took sannyas because he was on the level of Paramhamsa. He has conquered Kama, Krodha, Lobha, Moh, Matsarya, and he has also conquered his Shuddha and his Trishna, means his hunger and thirst. Because he was practically in his old age. But you are in your prime youth. How can you take sannyas? And we know that how the famous verse also, where it describes that Madhavendra Puri, when he was in his old age, he said, Sandhya Vandana Bhadramastu Bhavato Bho Snana Tubhyam Namo. He said, oh, my obeisances to Sandhya Vandan. May all good thing come on to Sandhya Vandan. 3 times we do Gayatri, right? So he's saying that all that good happens to my Sandhya Vandan. And I also bid my goodbye, Bhavato Bho Snana Tubhyam Namo. My thousands and thousands of namaskars to my morning bath also. Because he says, and also, Bho Devas and Pitras, Cha Tarpana Vidhav, all the Tarpana Vidhi that I offer to the Devatas, to my Pitras, my namaskar to that also. Why? Because Shamaya Shamantam, because I don't have any Shamta. I don't have any capability. I cannot do any more. I cannot perform any offerings for their pleasure, to demigods, to Pitras. I cannot do that. Then what can you do, Madhavendra Puri? He says, Yatra Kvapi Nishadya Yadava Kulutsmasya Krishna Kamsa Dvisha, that I want to remember Smaranam. I only want to remember Krishna, who is an enemy of Kamsa, who is a Yaduvamshi. I only want to remember Krishna. Why? Because Smaranam Agham Harami. Because by remembering Krishna, all my sins will be destroyed. Tam alam manye kimanyena me. Then what is the use of any further endeavors to perform in my life? Now, who can say this? Personality like Madhavendra Puri can say this. because he was completely Krishna conscious. Personalities like we who are still on the sadhaka stage, we cannot say Sandhya Vandam Bhadramastu Bhavato Bhosnana Tubhyam Namo, that, oh, I cannot do my Sandhya Vandam, I cannot chant my rounds, I cannot follow the four regulative principles, I cannot do all kind of devotional services, I can only sit one place and remember Krishna. Personalities like we, or contaminated souls like we cannot say all this. Sripad Madhavendra Puri can say that, and that too at such a fag end of his life. So he says, what is the use of those endeavors? So here, Prabhupada Saraswati Thakur is saying, now Sarvabhauma Bhattacharya is trying to compare him to Sripad Madhavendra Puri, that he has taken sannyas, but you have unnecessarily prematurely taken up sannyas, which doesn't suits you. भुजा देखी विचारिया कि अच्छे संन्यासे प्रथम ही बद्धहया अहंकार पाशे. So Sarvabhauma Bhattacharya continued that just consider, bhuja dekhi vicharya, vichar karke dekho, just think over and consider that what was the use, kiya achhe sannyase, what did you get after taking sannyas? Prathamai, first thing that happens when one takes sannyas, baddhahaya, he becomes bound. Bound with what? Bound with the ropes. But sannyasi means that you have accepted the renounced order of life. Means you have given up all kind of ropes of material enjoyment. But here he says, Prathame baddhaya ahankara pashe. You are bound with the ropes of ahankar as soon as one takes sannyas. Why? Because you have taken prematurely taken sannyas. You have not taken sannyas out of some consideration or some intelligence, but you have taken sannyas out of some sentiments and emotions. So it's a premature renunciation. And therefore now you have been bound by the ropes of ahankar, by the ropes of false ego. Dandadhari Mahajnana Haya Apanare Kahare ho bale joda hasta nahi kare. Dandadhari, now you are carrying a danda. You are a dandadhari. You consider one who carries danda himself. Now you are also a dandahari, dandadhari. Mahajnana, they consider themselves to be the great person. And kareho bale joda haste nahi kare. And they accept, they don't, first of all, they don't fold their hands to anyone. They don't bow down in front of anyone because they themselves are dandadhari now. They have become sannyasi. Now, they are all talking about Mayavadi sannyasi. But in our case, in our Vaishnava sannyasis, we see, even if they are dandadhari, so what? They take their danda also and put it flat like a rod, a danda on the ground. And they themselves, our sannyasis also themselves, they'll do dandavat pranam to all other sannyasis and to Srila Prabhupada. So this is the culture, this is the Vaishnava etiquette. But Sarvabhauma Bhattacharya, being in Mayavad Sampradaya, is not able to understand. He is saying, now you have developed a false ego. And once you are become a dandadhari, you are bound by the ropes of false ego and you will not fold hands to anyone. So where will be your Vaishnava etiquettes go? Because Vaishnava etiquettes means amani na manadena, that you don't expect respect from others, rather you give respect to others. So he continues, Yara pada dhuli laite vedera vihita, hena jana namaskare tabhu nahe bhita. And once when one becomes a dandadhari, they don't fold their hands before anyone. Not only that, they accept obeisances. Yara padadhuli laite vedera vihita. The Vedas, they describe that we should take padadhuli of the great Vaishnavas. But those who are dandadhari, they consider that the Vedas, the Vedas describe that their padadhuli should be taken, these sannyasis do not get afraid. Tabu nahe bhita. They don't have any fear in their heart, and they jane he na jane namaskare. And they accept namaskar even from those great personalities whom Vedas described that their padadhuli is the highest. So a sannyasi is not afraid. Here they are talking about a Mayavad sannyasi. A Mayavad sannyasi is not afraid, is not tabu nahe bhita, koi bhai nahi hai unko. They are not afraid to accept obeisances from such a personality that the Vedas declare the dust of his feet should be respected. So the Mayavadi sannyasi will not bow down to others, rather will accept namaskar also from others. They will accept dandavat pranams from others. Ahankara dharma ki kabu bhale nahe, bhuja e bhagavate ye na mata kahe. So now Sarvabhauma Bhattacharya says ahankara dharma. Now you have been in ahankar dharma. You have been bound by the ropes of ahankar. Now this is not good. कि कबू भले ना है, किसका भला किया है इस अहंकार ने. Means this false ego is not good to have, but you have developed this false ego without even knowing Mahaprabhu, without even knowing who he is. Sarvabhauma Bhattacharya, out of his own arrogance, has this audacity to speak this to Sriman Mahaprabhu. And he's saying, false ego is never good. It's किसी का भला नहीं किया है इस अहंकार ने. Therefore, भुजे भागवते ये ना मता कहे. Therefore, you should study Srimad Bhagavatam and you should understand the words of Srimad Bhagavatam. You should read scriptures, you should study scriptures, you should dive in scriptures. That's why you will learn how to lead your life. Then text 27, this is the verse from 11th canto. So this 339 will come later, but this is the 11th canto, 29th chapter, verse 16. Praname dandavad bhumau ashwa chandala ghokaram pravishto jiva kalaya tatraiva bhagavan iti. So it is said that realizing Bhagavan iti, that Supreme Lord with his kala, with his potency, energy, has entered Pravishto in the heart of jivas as super soul. So those who have really understood Krishna consciousness, they realize that Supreme Lord Bhagavan with his Amsha, with his kala, has entered into the heart of all the living entities as Paramatma. Therefore, praname dandavat. Therefore, we should do pranam. How? What kind of pranam? Dandavat, falling like a stick on the ground. Bhumau, on earth. To whom? To Shiva, to a dog, Chandala, to an outcast, to a goat, to a cow, and Karam, to even asses. So realizing that the Supreme Personality of Godhead has entered the body of every living entity as the super soul, one should offer their dandava, their obeisances before all. Even the dogs, outcast cows and asses, falling flat upon the ground like a rod. Praname dandavat bhumau. So this is how a Vaishnava should behave. But you have taken sannyas and now you have become arrogant and you will not bow down to others and you will expect respect also from others. This is the arrogancy that you have developed. This is the ahankar that you have developed. And this is what is lacking in you. That you should have not taken, you should have not accepted this renounced order of life. ब्रह्मणादि खुखुरा चंडाला अंत करी दंडवत करी बेका बाहो मान्य करी. Same thing is repeating. You should offer full obeisances to all living entities. But now you have taken sannyas, so why will you offer? Why will you bow down to others? Sannyasi doesn't bow down to others. But if you would have not taken sannyas, then your first duty is to behave like a Vaishnava. And you should have offered full obeisances to all the living entities, including the Brahmanas, dogs, and dog eaters. And then Prabhupada Saraswati Thakur quotes this very beautiful verse from 3rd canto, 29th chapter, 34th verse, which is quoted by Kapila Dev. Manasaitani bhutani pramane bahumanayam ishvaro jiva kalaya pravishto bhagavaniti. Same as we said in the 11th canto. Same verse. Manasitani bhutani. Apne man se, in your mind, one should offer obeisances to all. Praname bahumanayam. We should offer respect to others. Bahumanayam means showing regard, showing that man dena, showing honor to others, and not once but always. Bahu, many times. How? Ishvara Jiva Kalaya, understanding that Supreme Lord Ishvara, who is Bhagavan himself, with his kala, with his potency, has pravishto, has entered into the heart of Jivas. So such a perfect devotee offers respect to every living entity because he is under the firm conviction that the Supreme Personality of Godhead has entered the body of every living entity as the super soul or controller. In Chaitanya Charitamrita also, Krishnadas Kaviraj Goswami, while giving the commentary on the verse of Trinadapi Sunichena, he says, Uttama Hayya Vaishnava Habe Nirabhiman Jiva Sammana Dibajani Krishna Adhishtan. That a person, he may be a Uttamadhikari, he may be very, very exalted, he may be a very exalted Vaishnava, but he should not have pride. Nira Abhiman, he is always without pride. And Jiva Sammana Dibe Jani, and he gives Samman, he gives respect to all the Jivas, to all the living entities, understanding that all the Jivas are Krishna Adhishtan, that all the Jivas, my Krishna, my Supreme Lord has taken shelter, is the resting, all the Jivas' heart, they are basically the resting place for my Lord. So although a Vaishnava is the most exalted person, he is prideless and he gives respect to others, knowing everyone to be the resting place of Krishna. Aise Vaishnava dharma sabare pranati, sei dharma dhvaji jara ithe nahi rati. Vaishnava etiquette is to offer respect to everyone. This is the Vaishnava etiquette. But say dharmadhvaji, those who are dharmadhvaji means those who are hypocrite, those who are only following dharma for the name's sake. They don't have any attachment to Vaishnava etiquettes, neither to Vaishnavas, neither to the etiquettes, neither to their behavior. Why? Because they are pseudos, they are false, they are hypocrites, they are mithyas, they are pseudo devotee, they are hypocrite. Shikha Sutra Guchiya Sabe E Labha Namaskare Kare Ashi Maha Mahabhaga. Sutra, Shikha and Sutra means the only gain, Labh, the only gain in giving up one's Shikha and Brahman thread is that respectable people offered one their obeisances. So naturally, when Mahaprabhu took sannyas, he gave up everything. He gave up his shikha also because he took from a Mayavad sannyasi. He took sannyas from a Mayavada sampradaya, so he gave up his shikha. And the same thing Sarvabhauma Bhattacharya is saying, that you have given up your shikha and sutra, you have given up your shikha and Brahman thread. But what is the gain? The only gain to give up one's shikha and sutra is to get obeisances, is to get pranam from the respectable people. They also offer their obeisances. And the same thing was there with Madhavendra Puri. Shripad Madhavendra Puri gave up his sutra and shikha. But he is a great personality. He is a Paramhamsa. So he can give up. But you just have entered in your prime life. Why have you taken up this process? Prathama Shuniya E. Eka Apachaya Eva Arashuna Sarva Nasha Buddhishaya. So he says this is the first loss in accepting sannyas. What is that first loss? That you are bound by ahankar. What kind of ahankar? That now you will expect respect from others. You will yourself will not bow down to others, but you will expect that respectable people in the society should also offer obeisances to you. That's the first kind of loss that has incurred upon you because you have taken sannyas. Eva ara shuna sarva nasha buddhishaya. Now, this is the first loss that I have described. Sarvabhauma Bhattacharya is saying, now hear about the other losses that one gets after taking sannyas, prematurely taking sannyas, that one's intelligence also gets polluted. Of course, ahankar comes first, but then even the intelligence gets polluted for those who take sannyas. So he says, we'll do one last verse and then we'll stop. जीवेरे स्वभाव धर्म ईश्वर भजना ताही छाड़ी आपनारा बले नारायण. So first loss is that, of course, you are in ahankar now. You will expect obeisances from others. But there are other losses also in taking sannyas. And with that, what happens? One intelligence gets polluted. Why? Because then jivere swabhava dharma, Ishvara bhajan. In worshipping, in doing Ishvara bhajan, every jiva has its own swabhava dharma. And what is the swabhava dharma for all the jivas is jireve swarupa hoye nityera Krishna das. That we are servants of Krishna. Taha chhadi, but that swabhav is given up once you take sannyas. Apanara bale Narayan. And on top of that, start thinking that I am Narayan myself. Because that's what the Mayavadi sannyasis have. They want to become Lord. They want to become one with the Lord. They start calling each other Narayan. So the constitutional duty of the living entity is to worship the Supreme Lord. But after taking sannyas, one gives up that worship and calls himself Narayan. Prabhupada Saraswati Thakur writes, Swadharma adharma machyutasya yad iha mano vijahati ahugam. If one is engaged in his own occupational duty as ordered by the Supreme Lord, his sinful activities are certainly diminished. And that's what even Krishna spoke this to Arjun, because Arjun also wants to prematurely renounce. He wants to accept the renounced order of life. He said, Oh Krishna, it's better for me to beg rather to fight with my own kinsmen, my own relatives, my own superiors, my own master. How can I fight with them? It's better for me to beg, renounce everything and go. And Krishna chastises Arjun. Arjun, what are you thinking yourself? You think that if you take sannyas, if you take renounce order of life and go to some forest, people will applaud your decision? No, they will not think that you have rejected to fight in the battle because of some compassion that you have in your heart. No, people will not consider that. People will think that you are a coward. Seeing the vast army of Kauravas, you have run away from that battlefield. So this is a premature sannyas. You are not right now eligible to do so. So it's better to do your prescribed duties and accept renunciation in work, rather renunciation of work. That is not allowed. Renunciation of work it's okay, it's applaudable, but it has to be done at the right time. And right now, Arjun, you are not the right candidate. That you accept this renunciation of work, because once you go and beg, they're also having this Kshatriya Swabhav in yourself. You will fight with other living entities, you will fight with animals for your own livelihood. So what is the use? Because you have not given up your Swabhav. Your intrinsic nature of a warrior of Kshatriya has not been given up. So unnecessary, falsely or prematurely giving up your prescribed duties, running away from your prescribed duties is a mere sign of irresponsibility. So don't be irresponsible towards your duties. Rather, understand and then do your duty. So right now your duty is to fight. So get up and fight. So same thing here. It has been explained in Srimad Bhagavatam that if one is engaged in his occupational duty, as a service to Krishna, as an ordained by Krishna, then one's sinful activities are certainly diminished. Manye kutaschid bhayam achyutasya padam bhujo pashanam atra nityam udvigna buddhir asad atma bhavat vishvatmana yatra nivartate bhi. I consider that one whose intelligence is constantly disturbed by his falsely identifying himself with the temporary material world, can achieve real freedom from fear only by worshipping the lotus feet of the infallible Supreme Lord. In such devotional service, all fear ceases entirely. So, therefore, Krishna also guides Arjun, Mam Anusmarana Yuddhacha, that you fight, do your prescribed duty, but dedicate that duty also to me. Then you will become fearless, and that same prescribed duty, because you have dedicated to me, will become your devotional service. And with devotional service, it's a karmic activity, right? It doesn't have any reactions to one's activity. So you will be free from all entanglement. Now, this is what our Sarvabhauma Bhattacharya is guiding to Krishna Chaitanya, to Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. So, first reason is this, that you have been bound by Ahankar Pash. And second reason is think that now you will consider yourself to be Narayan. But yes, Mahaprabhu is Narayan himself. There is no harm. But Sarvabhauma Bhattacharya doesn't understand. He is just talking as per his own sampradaya he belongs to. But he is not known that how Mahaprabhu, who removes everybody's Ahankar Pash, how can he be bound with Ahankar Pash? He's beyond all that. And if he is being called as Narayan, then it will not be a false identification, right? Rather, it will be the true identification of Mahaprabhu. As it is, Mahaprabhu came as Channavatar. Now, if he calls himself as Narayan, what's wrong? He is Narayan himself. So our Sarvabhauma Bhattacharya is now guiding Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. And he is saying that you have entered into the prime youth of your life, and this was not the right time for you to take sannyas. Now, see the audacity that Sarvabhauma Bhattacharya had to even instruct Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. Yes, Mahaprabhu himself has asked Sarvabhauma Bhattacharya that you please guide me, explain me all the rules and regulations by which I should behave and lead my life, live my life. But Sarvabhauma Bhattacharya, not realizing who Chaitanya Mahaprabhu is, has started guiding and instructing Mahaprabhu. And later we will see that how he already told Mahaprabhu that now you should study Bhagavatam, right? You should read and study Bhagavatam, and you should understand the import and the purport of Bhagavatam. So later we will see that Mahaprabhu himself will tell Sarvabhauma Bhattacharya that it will be so good that if I can hear and learn Bhagavatam from you. So you please go ahead and teach me Srimad Bhagavatam. And then Sarvabhauma Bhattacharya, for 7 days and 7 nights, he will be speaking. And he will be speaking on Atmarama verse. Atmaramas Chamunyo, the famous verse from Srimad Bhagavatam. He will be speaking, and then when Mahaprabhu speaks, then he himself will become speechless. So that will be unfolded later by Srila Vrindavan Das Thakur. So I've just given the gist of what is coming up. Very, very exciting chapter and very beautiful chapter, and how Sarvabhauma Bhattacharya is also transformed into a very, very pure devotee by Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. We will see it in the subsequent sessions. So we'll stop here. We covered till verse 32, and Monday onwards, we will start with verse number 33. Thank you all so much. So we'll start there. Srila Prabhupada ki jai. Shri Vrindavan Thakur ki jai. Shri Chaitanya Bhagavat ki jai.
Hare Krishna Mataji, please accept my humble obeisances. All glories to Srila Prabhupada, Shri Guru and Shri Ganga. Such a wonderful class. Which way you just explain everything in detail, all verses in detail. How Mayavadi, they just understand that they are the Supreme Lord like that. And here Sarvabhauma Bhattacharya, he thinks like that when Mahaprabhu tells him about all the things, how can I live my life or something like that. And then Sarvabhauma Bhattacharya, how he express everything about because he is Mayavadi, he is thinking about himself like that others. So he just get so much arrogant, and he just tells Mahaprabhu, who is the Supreme Lord. He is the everything removes our all the Mahapash and everything. And he is telling to him, so he has no any arrogance, no nothing. Mahaprabhu is by himself is a Lord, but he doesn't know that he is the Lord, and he gives so much advice and so much guide to him to what to do, what not to do, why you take a sannyas, premature sannyas, and everything. That you want to take respect from others like that so much. So we can see how the devotee are always give respect to everyone.
Hmm.
Not he doesn't want the devotee doesn't want anything respect from others, but he gives respect to others.
Hmm.
That
He
is the
gives
main thing.
respect to others, and the
And
devotees never give free advice to others.
yeah, never never give free advice. Yeah, when the person they ask, then they tell,
Hmm.
because they are so compassionate. Even though they are, some people they are not doing this thing, but they are so compassionate. They say, okay, okay, okay. One day, Krishna will give them some intelligence to understand him. So they are so compassionate. So pure devotee, wow. We cannot say our all Guru Vargas, Srila Prabhupada, they all are like that. How they follow their instructions, Guru's instructions. Yeah. Mata is such a beautiful class. So many insights also, that when someone praise to you, what kind of a praise they are, you should understand. And even though you should not become a proud yourself like that, you should understand that everything because of our Srila Prabhupada and our Shri Guru Maharaj and Lord Krishna's mercy, we get that thing. But we should not proud. And even though the all devotees, they don't get proud in our Gaudiya Vaishnava Samaj. They know all Vaishnava etiquette, right, Mataji? So
Yeah.
they are so, yeah. Thank you, Mataji, for today's class so much.
Thank you.
Mataji, you have time?
Yes, Mataji, I have all the time.
And then, dear devotees, whoever they have any question or realizing such, Mata is here.
Thank you, Mataji. Jai Shri Prabhupada, thank you so much for such a beautiful class. I really like the underlying lesson of not giving any free advice and not owning people in the name of the so-called disease of Siksha Guru. Thank you so
Mm.
much. And Mataji, I did have a question in this whole conversation, because in this whole conversation, Sarvabhauma Bhattacharya seems to be advising Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu on the basis of you will lose your Vaishnava qualities if you become a Mayavad sannyasi. So that
Hmm.
seems to be underlying advice, but then he himself never had that thought of being a Vaishnava a follower or a Vaishnav sannyasi until Chaitanya Mahaprabhu enlightened him. So where did this even advice prop up from when he's not a believer of it?
Yes, Mataji, even I was thinking of the same, but the point is that it's not that Mayavadi people, they don't understand that what are Vaishnava qualities. They do understand, but they take those Vaishnava qualities to be the stepping stone, to be the ladder on which they can step and reach to the level of Narayan.
Hmm.
So
So
he wants,
basically,
he's just telling Mahaprabhu that right now your stage is to follow all the Vaishnava etiquettes.
right
You
now
should
you're at
follow
that
that
level.
Vaishnava etiquettes, and once you cross those letters, then you can come to the level of taking sannyas where you'll become Narayan.
Understood, understood. Makes sense, totally makes sense.
So it's
And
not that they don't know, they know, but they consider that all these things are preliminary or the prerequisite to
mm,
become a perfect Mayavad sannyasi.
very good. Thank you, dear. Thank you so much. Such a beautiful class. Thank you so much. Very enlightening and nice lessons. Very, very nicely you mentioned about certain issues that's running in our communities as well, and how to be humble and not get entangled with all this. Thank you. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna. Yes, Parima Mataji.
Hare Krishna Mataji, very, very nice class. Very nice message that, how to be humble and how not to preach to pure Vaishnavas. But Mataji, I often wonder that these Mayavadis, they know the qualities of bhaktas, they even know Krishna, and when they read the Bhagavad Gita, how is it that they stick to their Mayavad? That's one thing that surprises me. That when you read the Bhagavad Gita, that's so I can't understand what do they think about Krishna then? They want to become Krishna?
Yeah,
I'm
that's the what. They want to become Krishna. They think that worshipping Krishna or reading Krishna's pastimes is mere stepping on the different steps of ladder. Ultimately, you have to become Krishna. So even the Prabhupada says the last instructions that Krishna gives in Bhagavad Gita, Sardharman Parityaja Mamekam Sharanam Vraj. That Mayavadis think Mamekam means to a Mayavad sannyasi because he is Krishna.
oh
So
wow.
this
I
all
didn't know
that
this.
Mam comes to them means that's how they understand this purport. That once you come to that level, there you don't develop the relationship with Krishna, but you become Krishna yourself. You become Narayan. There is no difference between you and Narayan.
Hmm. Yeah, this is new to me. I never knew this. Yeah. Yeah, total misinterpretation, but then
Misinterpretation,
but they
100%.
think their interpretation is correct, so you cannot.
Yeah, they are in their own zone.
Yeah, that's true. That's very nice, Mataji. Very, very nice class.
That's why
Thank you so much.
Mahaprabhu says, Mayavadi bhashya shuna hoy sarvanash. Why he's telling all of us to guard ourselves from hearing all those Mayavadis. Why the Prabhupada always used to say, stick to your sampradaya, because see, outwardly everybody will speak about devotional service. Everybody will speak of Srimad Bhagavatam and Bhagavad Gita. But there will be a very subtleness when we'll realize that no, ultimately they want to become one with the Lord.
Yeah.
Right? So there will be a very subtle thing, and that we will not be able to understand. And by the time we will understand, we will go deep into their shiksha, deep into their learning. So that's why Prabhupada guards us. He warns us that no, please stick to your sampradaya. Be
Yeah,
chaste
because
in your sampradaya.
that's true. Because we are not,
Yeah,
I mean,
we are
at least
not
I'm
on
not
that
that much
level.
situated in philosophy that, I can
Uh,
continuously refute and stick.
no, no, we are not at that level. So we have to guard ourselves. And
True.
that garden, that guy means guarding thing comes as a fence, and that fence is association of devotees, like-minded devotees.
Hmm. Thank you. Thank you so much, Mataji. Thank you for your wonderful class. Dandat pranams to you.
Pranams.
Krishna.
Okay, dear devotees, we can end up.
Dandat
Yes,
pranam, Mata.
I was waiting for some nectar to come out from you. Please go ahead.
You have fed me so much nectar, Mata. स्त्री संगी एक कृष्ण भक्त. So atata sanga tyag ay Vaishnavacha. So avoid, as you were saying, Mayavadi bhasya sunila hai sarvanas. So we have to be very careful associating with
Very, very
Mayavadis. If we can at least do that, then we'll be able to stick to this path. When Krishna says, "Na mam karmani limpanti na me karma spurashma iti wo mam janati karma virna badhya." If you at least know this, then also he will spare you
karma
from
bandhan
karma.
nahi hoga.
Right.
Be away from karma bandhan.
That's right. So we are so grateful, Mataji, all your satsang and
Grateful to
everything.
you,
Haribol.
Prabhu. Grateful
Mata.
to you.
Haribol.
Thank you so much. Thank you, Prabhu. Okay, Yashomati Mataji, you can take over. We can end the call.
So thank you once again. Thank you, Mataji, for your beautiful class and beautiful things. That's why it says, Prabhupada always says, association is the best thing. When you associate with the devotees, you learn so many things from deeply. So this is very nice,
This
Mataji.
association was Prabhupada Saraswati's association. Prabhupada Thakur, he gave such a wonderful purport to make us understand the real mood of Sarvabhauma Bhattacharya and the real mood of Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. If his purports would have not been there, it would become so difficult to understand that why Mahaprabhu is going down to Sarvabhauma Bhattacharya. Why Mahaprabhu is saying that I am a soul surrendered unto you. We would have never understood.
Never understand.
Yeah.
So that's really, really true, Mataji, whatever you said. Even though Srila Prabhupada's purport also all the time in the Srimad Bhagavatam and in Srimad Bhagavad Gita teaches us so many things in detail. So we don't get misguided anywhere.
No way we will be misguided.
Yeah,
No,
that's why I say
are
because
not
Mayavadi, Mayavadi, whatever you say, there is a subtle thing that they want to become a Lord, God.
And that's why I'm saying that Prabhupada's translations also, it's not Anuvad of Sanskrit. It's Bhavanuvad, where Prabhupada has given his own emotions, the real bhav in the verse itself. So they're all Bhavanuvad. So we will no way we will ever be misguided. Provided we stick to Prabhupada's translation and his purports. He has given everything to us. They are false, they are wrong, those who say that Prabhupada has not given. Prabhupada has given us the highest philosophy we can ever have.
And we all are so fortunate to become, we can read Srila Prabhupada purport. Yeah, very nice. It's really give the transformation to us. So nicely analogy all the time, examples and everything, so philosophical. He understands us. Even though little child also can understand whatever he says, give the example and analogy. Yeah, Mataji, so grateful to Srila Prabhupada and so grateful to all Bhakti Sangha Japa group, the all devotees, the exalted devotees. I'm really grateful.
Mataji. Thank you for your wishes. I'm seeing the chat messages. Thank you, Parima Mataji, Vasundhara Mataji, Vinita Gandharvika Mataji, and Shobha Mataji. Thank you. Thank you, everybody. Okay, dear devotees.
Grateful to you, Mataji.
Thank you.
Thank you very much, Mataji, for your this beautiful class today. And we are very, very grateful to you. Somebody say Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna.
Lovely.
Hare Krishna.
So grateful to you, Mataji. All glories to Srila Prabhupada. All glories to you, Mataji. All glories to your services. कल्पतरुभ्यश्च कृपा सिन्धुभ्यैव च पतितानां पावनेभ्यो वैष्णवेभ्यो नमो नमः। अनंत कोटि वैष्णव वृंद की जय। श्री वृंदावन दास ठाकुर की जय। श्रील प्रभुपाद की जय। श्री चैतन्य भागवत की जय। हर ग्रेस कीर्तिदास सुंदरी देवी दासी माता जी की जय। दंडवत प्रणाम।
Krishna Mataji.
Thank you, Mataji. Hare Krishna.
Thank you, Mataji. Hare Krishna.